She's a dirty girl, but boy, she sure is pretty. At the end of last week's video, I hinted around about a box that just was delivered. And I told you that on the box, and as you can see for yourself, it says auto lamp. But we faded out and never really said what it was or what it was for. So in this week's video, I think you figured out what it's for, but what's in the box. Stick around, stay tuned, and let's roll to that intro.
Get in a car like this and smile, there's something wrong with you.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. No, we're not going to talk about this window unit air conditioner that's in the bed of my truck that we're going to haul off for scrap. But what we are going to talk about is taillights. Taillights specifically on 99 all the way up to current Silverados and Sierras. If you own a 14 to 18 Silverado or Sierra, you know the lighting system on these trucks is fairly decent, at least for the headlights and fog lights. They're up to date, they're LEDs, you don't have to run out right away and buy some updated system. The taillights, on the other hand, leave a lot to be desired. Now, I'm speaking specifically for the Silverados on this. The Sierras are a little bit better. They're not much better, but they are a little bit better. I've actually thought about putting Sierra taillights in this truck to change it up a little bit. But it's still just going to be just like everybody else's truck. And if you watch this channel, if you watch me, I'm not about having everything else everyone else has. I want something different. So I've been looking at this company for quite some time. And they'd be looking at me. They'd be watching me too. They hit me up and they asked me, they said, hey, you want to do a collaboration? I said, absolutely. They said, pick out your taillights, pick out what you like. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to Oksiwa. Oksiwa is an automotive lighting company specializing in aftermarket full LED taillights for trucks and SUVs, including models from Ford F-150, Ram 2500, Chevy, GMC, and Jeep. Their products often feature smoked lenses, sequential turning signals, and they're plug and play. They offer a custom designed LED taillights that are frequently described as bright, stylish, and durable. Many Oksiwa lights include built-in load resistors, C-style, running lights, and unique startup animations. Products are available through Amazon, or you can go through their website at oksiwa.com. Oksiwa does offer a couple of different styles for your 2014 to 2018 Silverado or Sierra. The ones that I have chosen are tinted, and they do have the dynamic starting sequence, which means when I turn the key on, they'll dance for me a little bit until that cycles through. They do have 4 lighting modes equipped with high intensity LED sources for running lights, brake lights, turning signals, and reverse lights. As I said, they are tinted, so the polycarbonate lenses provide optimal light for transmission for clear signaling to surrounding cars, trucks, whatever. They are IP67 waterproof rating, as you would expect. Now let's remove this factory taillight. In order to do that, you will have 2 T15 screws that you need to remove, and then it will have the 2 little grommets that kind of push in to the bedside. So remove the 2 T15s first. Make sure to keep your hardware because you will be reusing it. Now, grab here and pull away from the bedside. Pull back towards the back of the truck, like so. Now, unscrew the taillight plugs from the housing. Just twist loose and pull out. Once we get all the bulbs removed, we'll replace it with this plug-in style from the new taillights. Push your rubber grommets back in like you would as if you was putting bulbs in. Feed your wires back through, and then just screw these back into place. Now reinstall the taillight the exact same way you uninstalled it. You have these 2 little grommets, need to push inside these holes, and then put your 2 T15 screws back in. That is what the back of this truck needed. It needed something different. It needed something to stand it out. And this done it. I like the little dance that it does when you turn the ignition on or you turn the lights on. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. There are a couple of issues that I didn't really like, but it's part of the process. It's part of what happens. So the first issue that we'll talk about is the clips. That's really not that big of an issue, honestly. The clips that come on these particular headlights are bigger. So either you get bigger screws or you take your existing clips off of your old taillights and just swap-a-roo. That wasn't that big of a deal. Another issue that we had was that the wiring system actually flips. So your bottom, where your bottom was at, that's your main harness, and it has to go to the top now. So in other words, you'll have to go underneath your truck, and where there's zip ties or those little Christmas trees, you'll have to go through and clip those off so it'll stretch your wiring harness so that you can flip the wiring harness to your taillights. Again, not that big of a deal. It's just a little aggravation. Kind of wish they would have said that in the instructions, but you know, common sense is common sense. Another issue that we are having, and this, I really don't know how to resolve this, or at least yet, I don't know how to resolve it. On the driver's side, when you're using the turning signal, it starts normal flashing and then it goes to an extreme flash. Now I know on motorcycles you have to buy a little box when it's not LED compatible, I guess you would say. So I don't know if this is the type of situation that we're going through here where it doesn't have LEDs in the rear, that it's trying to overcompensate, I guess. But on the screen inside, on the in-dash screen, it actually says check left turning signal. Video is not going to do these justice whatsoever. These look orange in the camera, but I promise you it's a very, very bright red. Even with this being tinted, it is super bright. On the side, there's reflectors in here. I know you can't see it. There again, it's super dark. It's tinted, but there are reflectors in here. Now, some of you may be questioning, well, why ain't there lights in here? Well, here's the thing. Even on your factory tail lights, there wasn't lights in here. All that was in here was reflectors. So it's still there. It's just tinted. It's more of a sleek look. Now, if you don't like these, there are a couple more that you can check out. Now, there's not a ton more, but there are options for sure. Oksiwa or Oksiwa. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but either way, they got it for your big three, Chevrolet, Ford, and Dodge. Anything for your taillight needs. Check them out on Amazon or go to Oksiwa.com. I love you, fam, but that's all I've got for you for this week's video. If you've enjoyed it, you know what to do. Go down there and give old dad a big thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And until next week, are you ready? Let's do this. Peace. I'm out.